Well, welcome to the Friday video. John Miller here, and welcome to Friday Faithful today. Uh, if you're looking for a good book in terms of theology and want to learn about the attributes of God, Arthur Pink. It's an easy read. Arthur Pink, The Attributes of God. I've used this, and it's quite comprehensive in terms of the attributes that it deals with. But it's a very small volume here, but it's a classic. It's a classic. Well, we are in the book of Proverbs, and I'm in Proverbs chapter 23. And so you may want to grab your Bible and look on. This is the New International Version I happen to have with me right now. But Proverbs 23 begins by saying, when you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony, if you're a man of or a woman of great appetite. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. So kind of an interesting proverb here. When you sit down to dine with someone who has authority, who has power, who is an influencer, who can help you perhaps in many ways. And it says, be careful what is put before you, and put a knife to your throat if you're a man of great appetites. And be very careful about just diving in and enjoying what he is offering you, because it says the food may be deceptive. And so, in other words, there may be an ulterior motive that he is inviting you into, and you must not be naive about that. You must be discerning, as if, let's say, an employer is offering you an advancement, perhaps an advance in pay, an advance in position, but there may be something that goes with that that he is expecting from you. And so you got to be discerning. You may be all excited about it. You may want to jump in and say, oh, that's wonderful, and accept it. And then find out later that, and by the way, here are the strings that are attached. You're going to have to lower some of your ethics or morals, your values, because this is the way we do things at this level. But there's the money. There's the money. And so we could ask, what is your price that would cause you to lower your convictions and your values and your morals, because it can be powerfully tempting. It's like a college university student that is joining a fraternity, and they're promised the moon, that you're going to be loved by people. They're going to look up to you because you're part of this sorority, fraternity. And you go, wow, this is going to be great, but maybe there are strings attached. After you get involved, they expect you to perform this and to do that and to do things that offend your values and your sensitivities even before the Lord, and would tempt you to compromise. So this is kind of all involved in this verse. When you sit down to dine with someone who has power and influence, an authority figure, be careful what is set before you. Put a knife to your throat if you're given to gluttony. In other words, can you be bought? Can you be bought? Is there a price that they can give you that you will say, well, okay, I'll compromise if I get this level, if I get this much money, if I get this much notoriety, then my own internal ethic, I'm able to bend it because the temptation is just too great. In other words, if you're a man of great appetite, do you crave power, crave possession, crave money, so much that you're put in a position where you're going to compromise. You know, a few verses later, it says, do not eat the food of a stingy man. Do not crave his delicacies, for he is the kind of man who is always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten and will have wasted your compliments. And so it's being discerning that we go in and we have this relationship with someone who has an ulterior motive. They're a stingy person. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. You think you're getting free food. You think you're getting an improved position at your job. Well, maybe, but is there a cost involved? So that is what the wisdom of Proverbs is asking us to be discerning before we just go willy-nilly, being unwise, stepping into thinking that everything is just fine. Because some of us are very naive and we don't know about these ulterior motives that may be there, and then we get caught in it if we get too far along. So, you know, there are just some principles I think that are important. Well, we'll have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.